What is up, my colleague friends? Welcome to the video. Thanks for clicking on the link as always. Changing up the setting here on you a little bit. This is inside the Grange. For those of you who have not been here, this is where we meet on Tuesdays. Before we get into this, if you are in the Long Beach area and you are interested in learning Kali, come on out to the Grange here on Sand Ridge on Tuesdays at 7 o'clock. We meet here from 7 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. or where I normally shoot my videos, which is the Long Beach Elementary School, on Saturdays at 10 o'clock in the morning until 11:30 a.m. We meet and we do some Kali. It's a lot of fun. So I wanted to show you guys this little drill, this little thing here that you can do actually from home, okay? But before I go into it, I kind of want to talk to you guys about self-defense a little bit. I actually had a really good conversation with a friend of mine at church on Sunday, and it kind of got me thinking about this a little bit. And I just kind of wanted to talk about it as far as like situational awareness and how to move, how important it is to be able to move and to be able to pay attention to what's going on around you. It's highly important as a martial artist to be attentive, be paying attention what's happening around you. A lot of times, you know, I actually, when I was talking to my friend, he was telling me this story about this guy. He had seen a video, it was like the security film of some guy on his phone walking down the street. I think it was in New York. Wasn't paying attention, and some other dude walked in front of him, and you could tell he was holding something in his hand, and the guy just looked up and was like, "What?" You know? And the guy holding something in the hand went slice, right across the throat, done. People are crazy in the world. There are insane people in the world. It happens. Nobody expects to be a victim. You don't expect it until it happens. Another thing is that people don't realize is that most ambushes happen within an 8-foot distance, within 8 feet. That's the space that's the width of a parking space, okay? 8 feet, that's it. So somebody, think about standing at a parking space on one line, somebody's on that other line. That's how close most ambushes start from. So it is extremely important to, one, be aware of your surroundings. Pay attention to who's around you, okay? But also, what's really important, and this is one of the reasons why I love the system of Kali, it's really important to know how to move your feet, to know where to go, to know how to move, how to maneuver. And that's something that Kali focuses on, and I love it. And that's what I'm going to show you today. I'm going to show you a footwork exercise that you actually can do just from home. You can do this. I'll show you the tape that I got down here. You can put this tape down on carpet in your own home and do this workout. If you like to track your steps on these little fancy watches, this will help you get your steps in too. But drilling footwork drills like this is what actually helps defend you. Your feet are actually your primary defense. It's not necessarily the weapon or your hands. What you do, it's how you move your feet. With Kali, the method of defense is first, protect yourself from all strikes and attacks and the potential of all strikes and attacks. This is the way the Kali Center teaches it anyway. Number one, protect yourself from all strikes and attacks and the potential of all strikes and attacks. That means you are paying attention to potential things that can happen around you, and you're also making sure that you are not putting yourself in an environment where an attack can happen, okay? Number two, neutralize the weapon. If an attack does happen, you want to stop. You want to get rid of that weapon. Neutralize that weapon. Number three, once the weapon is neutralized, you can then dominate combat. So that's kind of what I'm going to show you tonight. I'm going to show you a footwork exercise that you can do that will teach you, they'll help drill in the movements necessary to be able to move properly in an instant. If somebody attacks you, within that 8-foot distance, which is when it normally happens. It's very important to be able to move your feet. So let me show you this real quick, this diagram that I got. Let's see if I can get this flipped around. Okay, so this is our ranging star, okay? Ranging angles is also what this is called, all right? And you'll see why it's called ranging angles in a second. These are all the angles that you step. These are the proper angles that you need to step when you are doing your footwork. And I will show you what each of those angles are for in a minute, okay? And so this, I'm facing it the way that you would be standing on it. So you would stand on it like so, okay? So you've got your left 45, your right 45, your left 90, your right 90, your left 135 degree, or also called universal evasion line, and then your right 135 degree angle, which is also called opposite angle, okay? So these are your striking, your attacking, and your evasion angles, okay? These are the angles that you attack somebody and how you get out of the way. So if I'm going to attack somebody, I'm not going to attack them head on. You don't want to do that because you are running into an attack. If you need to attack somebody, you need to get off the line of attack here. You need to get off 0 degrees, which means you need to step on one of these 45-degree angles. So we're going to start left. This is the exercise here. I'll demonstrate in a second. But first, we're going to step left. If you're going to attack somebody, boom, I'm going to attack and stepping left 45-degree angle. It's putting me forward, but it's also quartering your opponent. You are stepping into a different quarter of combat, okay, of the circle. Right 45, you are quartering them to the right if you are attacking somebody, okay? Your 45-degree angles are your attacking angles. Then you have your 90-degree evasion angles. And for the exercise that we're going to do, you step and you turn your body. This gets you out of the way of the extension of a weapon. If somebody's got a weapon, this takes greater movement to get out of the way of than this. It's pretty basic, but it's easy to not think about that, okay? So to get out of the way of that weapon, the extension of the weapon, you need to step further than hip and shoulder distance. So we are stepping a full pace and rotating the body, clearing the extension of the weapon. Coming back to the center of your star, and we're going to go to the left. Full pace to the left, clearing the extension of their weapon. Now is our evasion angles, our 135 or our reversing evasion angles. So we're going to step up left 135, which is universal evasion, and right 45, right 135, which is your opposite angle. So I'll run through those again. So you have your left 45, which is your left attacking angle. Right 45, which is your right attacking angle. Your, we'll just go left first. Left 90, so your left evasion angle, 90-degree evasion angle. Your right 90-degree evasion angle. Then we're going to go left 135-degree or universal opposite angle, or right 135. So that's the exercise. We're just going to go here, here. Step, 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 like this. And actually, for the exercise that I'm going to show you in a second, you'll go left 45, right 45, then right 90, left 90. Universal, opposite angle. This is actually a pretty good workout. This is part of the lesson that I taught tonight, actually, and our legs were kind of burning by the end of the footwork part. If you're trying to get your steps in, this is a good way to get steps in, and at the same time, drill the proper angles of attack and evasion. That's what I'm doing here. I'm making sure that my body will move naturally without thinking in the proper space, proper angle. That's the thing. If you ever have to defend yourself, there's not time to think. Engagements in real, like if somebody attacks you, it's over in seconds, not minutes, seconds. There's not time to think. That's why we drill. That's why you drill. That's why you do this, so that when you don't have time to think about what happens, you can just move and you don't have to worry about how you move, because you've already trained your body to move properly. Now, there you go. Let's add a weapon, okay? So with Kali, one of the things that I love about this is calibration, okay? So with Kali, it teaches you to move and strike at the same time, to use your body as one unit, okay? And so typically what we use when we're doing this drill, at least tonight, we were using our espada, which I'll get into in a second. That's what we were using tonight, okay? But this stick that we use is for training, okay? This is for practice so that we don't hurt each other, all right? In reality, if I was going to be using espada techniques, I'm using them with something like this, okay? With like your metal baton, your collapsible baton. This is a very good self-defense weapon. It is collapsible. You can carry this with you if you're hiking or anything like that. It fits in a pack really easily. And blunt weapons are very easily non-lethal weapons. So these can be quite useful in self-defense situations, all right? But if you don't know how to use a weapon, this thing that ought to be an asset to you, if you don't know how to use it properly, becomes a liability, because you might just lose control of it and hand this over unwillingly to your attacker, okay? So if you're gonna be using a weapon, it's important to know how to use it properly. So with this same footwork drill, what we do is we work on calibration as well. And so calibration means that you are stepping and striking at the same time. So when I calibrate my steps and my strikes, when I step, when my foot makes contact, the weapon makes contact with its target. Boom. When this foot comes up and finishes is when the weapon touches chamber. Then I'm going to come back and I'm going to slide back and do what's called a broken strike, So this is a fluid #1 strike with a broken 2. Fluid 1 with a broken 2. Notice it makes contact when I'm retreating, when the front foot finishes its movement. Calibration is calibrated off the front foot, not the back foot. Now we're going to go to the right. So we're going to do a #2. This strikes, makes contact when my foot hits the ground. When this foot hits, this goes to chamber. Slide back. It makes contact at the same time my foot comes back. Now I'm going to go this way on my evasion angle and do what's called a forward. Boom. Stepping out of the way, and parrying their strike. So this also, when this front foot finishes its movement, is when this makes contact. When I step back, that broken strike happens at the moment my foot hits the ground, and I chamber when this one hits the ground. Now I'm going to step this way, calibrating it off the front foot. Broken. Calibrating it off with that sliding. Now we're going to come back. When that front foot comes back is when this makes contact. Broken. Calibrated it. Boom. And strike, chamber. So it's strike, chamber, strike, chamber. Strike, chamber, strike, chamber. Strike, strike. Strike, strike. Boom, boom. This, drilling something like this, makes it so that if you ever have to use a weapon in self-defense, you don't have to think anymore. Not really. There's always some thought that goes into it, but you've drilled proper calibration and proper angles, ranging angles, so your body will just move properly. That is the goal of self-defense training, to be able to move with having to think very minimally about what you are doing. Because sometimes there's just not time to think. Okay. That is part of the lesson that I taught tonight. If you guys do that, obviously if you don't, this is something that you guys can do at home. You don't have to put the weapon in with it, but I would recommend just put some tape down and just get to where you can move around like that. It'll get your steps in. And I tell you what, you do that for a few minutes, you're gonna feel it in your legs. Alrighty guys, that's what I got. I appreciate you watching one more time. If you guys are in the Long Beach, Washington area and you're interested in taking some Kali lessons, come on out to the Grange at 7 p.m. on Tuesdays, 7 to 8:30 p.m. Saturdays at the elementary school in Long Beach, 10 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. If you can't come out to a class, check out Kali Center online. They got really good stuff. That's where I'm learning all this stuff. So anyway, thanks again for watching, you guys. Hope it helps. Hope you can use it. God bless. Peace.